This forehand, next gen.
What gen am I?
You're next gen. Been watching a few videos where people talking about extending the elbow and then pulling into this position. Now maybe a straight arm forehand, maybe there's an element of this pulling as you lag the racket, or to create the lag, because as you pull the arm, the racket will lay back. But with a bent arm forehand, which is what you use, Djokovic uses, and I think the majority of players use, and the majority of players should use, because it allows you to just make a few better adjustments and be a little bit smoother. There's a lot of people with a locked arm, you know, especially if you're talking about straightening this arm and then pulling. Already that sounds a little bit locked to me. So what I prefer is lowering the racket, and you might take it back in different positions, lower it, and then from here, throw the arm. Supinate the arm into this position, just like you were skimming a stone across a pond or throwing a ball sidearm. You get it into this position and you throw. And we want this to be creating lag here. So it's the supination of the arm, throwing the arm instead of pulling with a straight arm. We're going to keep the arm bent and supinate it, and that's going to create this lag, and then we can fire it. Keep working a little more spin. Good. So one thing on this pat the dog move, I sometimes cut it out. I sometimes go from this position and focus so much on explaining the supination that this doesn't happen. But we want this pat the dog to happen naturally, just by the width of the shot. You know, if you stretch out back here and you give yourself some space, the strings are going to face the floor, especially if you're semi-western. If you're continental, you might be in this position. Eastern, sometimes my strings don't face the floor that much. But for you, you're going to get a little bit more width here, and as the racket and as the arm sort of straightens, doesn't get straight, as it straightens and lowers, the strings are going to face the floor. But again, don't get stuck in that position. Don't even focus on it that much. It needs to be a relaxed position where it's naturally happening because of the width of the shot, and then throw the arm into it. And I just wanted to talk about that, because sometimes when I see myself on video, I'm just like shortcutting it. However, if you watch some videos, let's say Djokovic returning a fast serve, he'll be here and then he'll shortcut it. So there'll be no pat the dog because there's no time and he's not winding it up. So it's the kind of width and the large take back which just naturally will have the pat the dog part of the swing in it. We want the arm supinating to lay the racket back, to lay the wrist back, I should say. He still has a tendency to just do the lag, the wrist laying back as a independent move. And it requires confidence, right? Because you gotta not move the racket. You gotta move the arm, you gotta move your hips, you gotta move everything else, and the racket comes through after. Well, that requires a bit of faith that the ball's gonna be where you think it's gonna be. Good. Which is why you can't have better sending skills than you have receiving skills. Because if you try this, but you don't have the ability to track the ball and understand where it's going to bounce, you're going to miss it every time. So there's people out there that probably shouldn't be trying this. They should just do a large, smooth, rhythmic stroke, not worry about too much lag. Nissan's got incredible hand-eye coordination. So he should be able to move the body, move the arm, and have the racket come through last, fast, and still hit it at the middle of the racket. Good. Keep rotating the shoulder, man. Better. Keep working a little more spin. Good. Good. You feel next gen or what?